On this historic day, the sun is shining brightly in Washington, outside, and now finally inside this great Capitol building. You know, normally a New Year's resolution is something you make up and write up for yourself. But this ethics resolution that Democrats are now adopting was written by the American people at the ballot box in November. This January resolution is possible only because of the November revolution by voters who were, quite frankly, revolted by what they saw going on here in Washington. Under Democratic leadership, spring cleaning is getting an early start here in January. We ban lobbyist-sponsored junkets and gifts and the use of corporate jets from jet-setting lobbyists like the tobacco company that even took one member of Congress on a special flight to his criminal arraignment. In Congress, an earmark too often is a secret means for a member to benefit some special project. Some are worthwhile, some are dubious. You know, when I talk about earmarks to my ranchers down in Texas, they have a different earmark in mind. It's the mark you put on an ear of your cattle to identify them. By their very nature, earmarks identify and are public. I think we need some of that Texas thinking here in Washington. And under this package, if earmarks can identify a steer, we're able, through the new package, to know who is steering earmarks of federal tax dollars to some unworthy cause. Ethics reform, of course, is not an end in of itself. The goal of reform is to improve the substance of the work that we do here. It's to ensure that the priorities in Washington are genuinely the priorities of hardworking families in Bastrop or Kyle or any of the communities across our country. Because fiscal security is national security, we're also working to cut the ballooning federal deficit with pay-as-you-go budgeting, barring new spending and provisions or tax changes that would increase our soaring national debt. And our reforms seek to curb the cost of corruption. It is a cost that has been borne in the pocketbooks of our seniors who pay too much for drugs after a drug bill was passed through here, written, designed by the pharmaceutical manufacturers instead of designed to help those who needed help most. It's the cost of corruption that is reflected in no-bid contracts in Iraq and in the aftermath of the Hurricane Katrina debacle. And it is reflected in the price that the jobless, the homeless, and the hopeless are paying for the corruption within this administration. Mr. Speaker, accountability so long lacking from this administration and the House leadership begins today.